Hello, this is Prashant Mokshya, a warm and new spiritual greeting to everyone. Today, let's talk about death. Many people are sending me questions regarding death. So let's talk death today. And the center of the question is not only about death, but what happens after the death. That is the baffling question. That is the astonishing, that is the mind-boggling question for most of the people. Because we haven't seen anyone, we haven't heard anyone who have come back from death and told us that this happened to me after death. So death is always a mystery for us. So let's understand death today. In the human life or for a living being, but especially a living being who is conscious enough to think about the situation after their life, which is called death, when their body stop operating and when the soul left their body, what happens to the soul? If they believe in the theory of soul, then that question must have arose to everyone, because we know this physical body will vanish in, if you burn it, it will be ashes and it will go in the air, or if you put in the ground, then it will get decomposed and used by many micro bacteria or other animals. So that we know about our body. But to the perception or to the idea that our life is not only about this physical body but also about the soul. So the question that is very relevant question, that what happens to our soul after the death of this physical body? That is very mind-boggling. And I appreciate the question and appreciate the inquiry from all of you. So let's deal the death. At first, what death is such a mystery, yet such a sure shot incident. There are some fixed incident in our human life. That is, when you get birth, your death is fixed. By the time of your birth, you are sure to die. There is a saying, or the natural law says, whatever has born in the nature has to die one day. That is the natural law for life. So it's fixed. Death is fixed for everyone. Even the Sai Baba, who claimed that he is a god and who even said that he will last for more 3 years, extra 3 years, but he himself do not know he is going to die very soon. That is the mystery of, that is the truth of death, that no one knows about. It's very mysterious. But let's dissect the death and understand what exactly it is. To go through the death, we have to understand about life and the theory of reincarnation. We have to understand that, and then I can answer you, I can make you know what exactly will happen to you after you die. At first, our human life consists of physical body and soul. When there is fusion of two male and female gamete at the time of intercourse, or when the male and female gamete get conceived in a womb of a woman, at that very moment, the aura of that womb or that combined zygote, or the vibration or the energy, what type of energy it attract the soul inside it. At that very moment, when the male and female gamete get conceived and becomes a zygote, at that time, similar energy pattern soul get attracted to that zygote and get into it, or it becomes in tune to the whole process. Then a baby starts growing, and when the baby starts growing, and at that very time, the soul already becomes in tune, or soul becomes the part of life, and the baby got birth, and it goes on. And when a person dies, at that time there are many types of dying, but like death, but like we will talk about the normal death. When a person dies because of age, because of old age, at that time the body informs the soul that it no longer can hold a life in it. So you have to prepare to leave this physical body. So if you see a person dying, then that about 24 or 36 hours ago, that symbol starts to show that that person is going to die. That means your body is informing the soul that you need to leave this body after some time, so be ready. And then soul starts to get ready, and like it, after some time the soul leaves the body and the person is dead, and the person die, and there happens to be the death. That is the normal process. Now the mystery is that we know, most of the people know, but the mystery now is what happens after the soul leaves the body. So let's understand in this way. When the two male and female gamete get conceived and becomes a combined cell, a zygote, from that instance, whatever the body, the material body goes through, that transpires to the vibe, to the frequency of, or to the aura of the soul. That means if you live a life as a positive person, if you do positive act, if you live a person with a positive frame of mind, who understand the meaning of life, why you were born, what should you do, and if you try to connect that soul to your body and your living process, then the soul gets enriched in a positive manner. In the same way, if you do a negative stuff, all the negative thing, whatever you can imagine, in the same fashion, that soul will get transpired and will accommodate all the vibration, all the energy to itself. And the soul becomes like, it's the energy phenomena, that's why the soul becomes itself, it becomes negative. At the time of death, when the soul leaves, at that very instance, the collective aura of your life, collective energy of your life get attached to the soul, and it leaves your body. That determines the reincarnation. So what happens after your death is, the whole collective life energy will be accommodated in our soul, in the energy, when it leaves the body of your material body. That will determine to next time when it has to go to reincarnation, when it has to go to next life, that determines to what type of body or what type of family structure or what type of life it has to get. It has to get in tune there. That determines. So there is a saying, the life to get a son like Buddha and to get a son like Judas, or to get a son like Jesus and to get a son like Jesus is very hard, because both are on the one way or another to extreme level. Because to have a very positive soul like Buddha is also very hard, very difficult, because that requires a sanctity, that requires a very holy fusion of two, male and female, and their sexual intercourse must be very holy to attract such soul on their womb and to have a baby like Buddha. Also, to have a baby like Judas, or to have a baby like Hitler, or the most criminal minded people, it's also pretty hard, because the male and female has to be so negative, their life must be so negative, so indulged in a sexual thought, sexual desire, only full of lust and everything. The ultimate of that negative pattern to attract such bad soul to their own. So what happens, and by the meantime, to a normal life, that's why the reincarnation of normal soul happens pretty quick, and the reincarnation of the Buddha or like pretty bad soul happens very slow, because it has to be really in tune. Like it's like a radio. When you like tune here on your radio, the frequency sent by the tower, far away tower, the frequency must be matched to get or tuning in the radio. That's the point. That is the like metaphor you can imagine about the life and the tuning of a soul and the soul being attracted. Until then, what happens is like your soul, the soul is not the soul which has left the body get into the cosmic consciousness. It becomes the cosmic consciousness. There is identity. Until you get dissolved on the cosmic consciousness, like being enlightened, like being liberated from the cycle of life, the soul has the entity, it has an identity, a definite identity of that vibration. So that after when the similar case arose at the time, it will go there and get born. But if you get enlightened, that's the meaning of enlightenment or liberation. In liberation or in enlightenment, what happens is you will get beyond the cycle of life and death. Then you can choose, in some enlightened master or some enlightened soul choose to come back to life, because they want to help the human life. They want to be the messenger, so that a painful or miserable human life can be more blissful. So you can see many like avatara, many reincarnated soul came to the earth and helped the people. But that happens rarely. But the important point is, if you are not liberated from this cycle, after your death, your soul enter onto the cosmic consciousness. But it doesn't dissolve there. It has its own identity. And when the favorable male and female cell get conceived and form a zygote, at that time it will get in tune there and continue a life. But it's a very complicated, it's a very complex phenomena. So I'm trying to explain you in a simpler way. But if you go through the detail, of the theory of reincarnation, it's pretty long. So I can't explain you here. But it's like that. So what's the conclusion of all these things? Conclusion is, your life is not only about your body, but also about your soul. And whatever you do to your body, whatever action you do throughout your life, that will determine where you will get born to next life, or what sort of life you will get to the next life. That will determine. And after you die, after the soul left your body and you die, your soul goes to the cosmic consciousness. But until you get liberated, it doesn't dissolve there. Like a drop of water dissolved in the ocean, it doesn't dissolve. It remains there, but it has a identical identification. It has a singular identification, so that when a similar type of male and female cell get conceived and becomes a baby jackal, at that time it will get attracted there and have a continue their life. This is the way. So like, if you do not understand this and things like this is the only one life and whatever I want to do, then you are pretty much falsified, because there is no like hell or heaven. Only the hell or heaven is the state of your soul. If your soul is pure enough, then you are in heaven, because after you get born into next life also, you will get born to a favorable life or favorable parents or stuff like that. But if you are not, if you do all these wrong deeds and all the wrong stuff in your life, then you are bound to have a life related to that deeds. So like, if you are pretty much like, for example, let me give you an example. If you live this life as a pretty much drug addict, and if you give suffering to all the family, friend and all this stuff, next life there is a huge chance that you will have to born to a father or mother who are drug addict, and you have to go through the suffering of the pain you gave to the people, because that is the karma, that is the way your life happens, and that is the hell. That is the hell. That there is no like someone, God is measuring you are doing this. Everything will be coded to your soul. It will be decoded to your soul, and it will get again explored. It will get again manifested when you have another life. So you need to be pretty careful, you need to be pretty conscious, and you need to be pretty conscious to what you choose to live in this life. If you live a life in a right direction, if you try to get connected and know yourself, to your soul and to your body, and if you try to enlighten yourself, then whatever you do, you may go to negative path, that will be also coded. Only thing, yes, the money will be, you will lose the money, the education you will lose, everything you will lose, knowledge you will lose, but the consciousness will remain there to the soul. The consciousness, the upliftment or the downgrading of consciousness, whatever you achieve in your life will remain there. And so make sure that don't go to downgrading your consciousness. Try to uplift your consciousness, meditate, don't falsify, or don't betray to yourself. This is like betraying to yourself. Don't betray to yourself. Understand the way of life, understand the cycle of reincarnation, and have a blissful life. That's it. Thank you very much.